Hey there, Jamie, guess what? It's Tuesday. Word from the interwebs. It's hot, it's new, it's exciting, and it's actually really exciting. Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is getting a spin-off series. That's right, you heard that right? Spin-off, sequel, series. Arm motions. As such, I need to properly get into costume to represent this amazing occasion because Sarah's not the only one who has costumes. I have costumes too, ha ha ha. Ready for adventuring and things. This helmet's very uncomfortable, actually. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the anime Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, here are the broad strokes to get you caught up to speed so we can carry on from there. Bear with me. First level adventurer Belle Crenell is the new member of the recently formed Hestia Familia, which is kind of like an adventuring guild party sort of deal, sponsored by a deity. And he goes on his first dungeon quest and is ambushed by a Minotaur. Minotaur.
Minotaur. Moo monster. Moo monster Minotaur.
The incredibly dangerous, deadly, and all-around gorgeous AIZ Wallenstein, aka the Sword Princess, comes to his aid by cleaving the Minotaur clean in two. Gorgeous, deadly, and airheaded, AIZ quickly becomes the source of the infatuation. AIZ becomes the driving desire for Belle to get stronger like her, to become the greatest hero of all time, to meet her as equals, not as just some white-haired lad at the other end of a Minotaur getting cleaved in two, being covered in tomato juice. It's gore. Straight gore. The spin-off series, Sword Oratoria, follows the Sword Princess, our good friend AIZ. And this is not an origin story. Thank God for that. Indeed, while this does take place before Belle's adventure into the dungeon, it is not a considerable amount. AIZ is still a dangerous force to be reckoned with. She is a powerful swordsman and nigh undefeatable and all that. It's an anime, what'd you expect? But she needs to learn her place in her adventuring party so that she can not only just go off on her own and kick all the ass and take all the names herself, but needs to learn to be part of the team because she has teamwork issues, as most OP characters tend to have, because when you can do all the damage on your own, why would you work with the team? Isn't that right, rest of the party? She dives into the thick of battle with no regard for her allies or companions, and while this is the first battle of the light novel and the stakes are very, very low, they're so low you can't even see them, like they're so, the camera not low enough to show you how low. Because of these low stakes, there aren't any real casualties or damage. However, were the stakes to be much higher, like up here higher, like head level higher, I shouldn't be waving a sword in front of my face, this sort of higher, it could have been much worse. There could have been death or dismemberment of friends. That'd be bad. Basically, all sorts of bad could have happened unless AIZ learns to work with the team. You know, this is that emphasis on teamwork. There is no I in team, though there is an I in winning. From there, the Sword Princess is given her next task, a dangerous mission into nearly uncharted dungeon territory to recover a bit of water from a magical spring for quest reasons, as well as she must pick a fight with one of the most dangerous creatures in all the dungeon, which is a Dargon. A scary Dargon. Be afraid of the Dargon. Because she is part of a much smaller team, and there are a couple members of the team who are not nigh indestructible like she is, she must learn to work with the party so that they don't all die. At the very least, it looks like this series, which was officially announced, like today for me, but 2 days ago for you people on Tuesday, and possibly later, it was March 6th at the Gangan GA Fest. This series should follow a lot of the same spirit and a lot of the same motifs, art style, all that good stuff that the original series Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon followed. That title is really a mouthful. Can we not find like a shorter term for that? I mean, I love the title, but it's hard to say over and over again. Overall, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon has been very well received by the viewing community, with an overall rating of 7.5 out of 10 on public review boards such as IMDb, and of course was an absolute pleasure to watch. In fact, it got the Sarah's 2 thumbs up seal of approval, and as Sarah said it's good, you know it's actually pretty good, because she has, we'll call it discerning taste, but she's fussy. And personally, I've never been a big fan of anime that has like the flying around super attacks, you've unlocked my final potential, you know, glowing swordiness. Here I am waving a sword around in my basement again. It's dangerous. Don't do this at home, kid. Oh god, it turned around. While it had those elements that I'm not a huge fan of, it also had great entertaining moments. The characters are really interesting interesting and fun. Their banter is witty, and it keeps you laughing even when the stakes are a little high, but it knows when to bring it to the serious meter by raising the stakes, which often does very, very well. The world is fun and intriguing and engaging, and while it's not a completely original idea that they're living in an RPG world, what they do with it, what they take from it, and how they set it all up is still a lot of fun. Many of the details are of course still being worked out by the production team, so we shall be seeing in the near future, I have no doubt, information about release dates and casting, and maybe some sneak peeks at the artwork, which always be a lot of fun. And honestly, when that first episode comes out, I'll be all over that like a head crab. Like, I'll be just like latched onto it. It'll be probably as gross as that image sounds. So cute, our little space cadet heroine gets a chance to shine in the limelight. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to leave a big old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can just get poked with a sword. Be sure to check in on Tuesdays when I upload and Fridays when Sarah uploads as well. Gaming on Sundays. Now if you excuse me, I must go off into battle and do heroic things with my pointy stick and my vegetable tanned leather helmet. Victory!
Protect them from their family, right? When they argue and fight